Every day now is an extraordinary experience in the worst that duality has to offer. I've heard it said that people will most often choose to continue believing a lie because the shame of admitting they are wrong is too destructive to the ego. With Fauci in the hot seat, faced with his lies under oath, lies which sent millions of people to their death already, billions if we don't stop him, it will soon be impossible for even the lamestream media to spin this story any further. The massive growth of the red-pilled, awakened humans is a phenomenon in itself, and this growth has gone viral. Excuse the pun. It feels as though we are descending into hell, with families split on opposing sides of this information war, just as Arjuna was split from his family in the Bhagavad Gita. Indeed, that ancient tome has been of great service to me in this trying time. And yes, many will end up dead in this unconventional war. I do recognize this escalation of duality as being indicative of the cusp of change. The chaos has no choice but to increase as we head into higher frequencies, because those of lower frequencies cannot function in higher frequencies. Truth be told, the red pillars are all about connection with a loving God and creating the most beautiful change for all people, whereas the jabbers are consumed with hatred, self-righteousness, and compliance. The chasm between the two groups has grown extreme and probably insurmountable. I have a lifelong friend who turned out to be a major cabal player in the media. I started noticing a few years ago when I would talk to him about the horrors of child trafficking that I was uncovering. He, an investigative journalist, had no interest. There were several such events, but one time he was putting a book on the shelf of his library and he told me it was Plato's Timaeus and Critias. This was his final book completing his library, and with that action he was giving me a very important tip. I told him it was perhaps the most influential book I had ever read, and this is what it comes down to. Very few people will survive what is about to come. This virus is just the beginning, the tip of the iceberg. We are already hearing about a new Marburg virus beginning to make the rounds in China just before the 2022 Olympics. But that virus also is just the tip of the iceberg. Seismic activity around the world, earthquakes and volcanoes, is off the charts, and the Yellowstone volcano is especially active. Meanwhile, the financial system is collapsing, the food chain is collapsing, the legal system is collapsing, the healthcare system is collapsing, the education system is collapsing. We are headed toward a future where very few humans survive. As per Timaeus and Critias, those few who do survive will initiate the next version of society. And if those survivors have a connection to the real God of love, then there's hope that that future civilization will be a vast evolutionary improvement over this one. I cannot say that I'm sure I want to be one of those survivors. That is a very heavy mantle to wear. But I send out my love and my strength of purpose to all who do survive, that they find the courage to place love at the epicenter, well above self. For with love all things are possible. And that means it is possible to build a society that will not eventually devolve into the same debauched madness that overtook Atlantis and now this society. It must be nurtured with love. It must be about service to others. It must be centered around the truth of the divine creator. This is my greatest wish for the future society that grows from this one. Go in grace, my friends. Thank you for connecting with me in this space-time continuum in love.